anything can become universal. Any moment, any person's idea at any one moment, any artifact, if you could understand it well enough, would be a portal into the whole rest of the universe. I think this conviction in me, I can associate, it was probably already there on the old Channel 13 in New Jersey. There used to be a show when I was little called What in the World? And it was 3 or 4 people sitting in a studio. The set consisted of the chairs they were sitting on, a kind of a cocktail table. And one of them might be an art historian, one might be an anthropologist, one might be a museum curator. And they're sitting there and there's a host and somebody brings in a thing. It might look like a ladle made out of bark, or it might look like a little statuette, or it might look like a mortar and pestle but rattly or something. And then these people, they don't necessarily know what it is. They know how to bullshit about it. And one of them says, these tools, they show up, they're pre-Columbian ones, there are also ones in Sumeria. It's basically a tool for winnowing grain. And I would say this one, because of the material, I would say it's probably pre-Columbian rather than, but you know, sometimes there are modern ones like that. The other guy says, no, I think this is a 19th century, early 20th century thing. I've seen a lot of them. A lot of Southwest American Indians use these. I thought it was, to me it still looks Sumerian. And they know how to yak about it. This thing has come as though out of the sky. And they know things. And that thing is a doorway into all of this history and all this knowledge that they know. Well, we can do that with you know, with this molded glass. And why do so many of them seem to come from France? And almost everything comes from Asia. Well, there probably is blah, blah. If you know, and, you know, water, ... So it's not that, there's a quality in the object. It's that every object is a doorway. Every object has a history. It has a past. It has a social context. It probably has a political meaning. You know, who got paid how much to bring the glass into this building and from wherever it was made, and how did the materials get to where it was made? We'll never know. But the more you look into it, the more interesting it gets. That's why the guy who's with the Polish name could write a bestseller about pencils. I don't know if one does find an image. I don't know if it's like making a collage and Picasso says, here's part of the newspaper or the menu. It'll go well here. You know, I never was a choreographer or a dancer, but you know, I assume you start trying something, you know, you just do things with your body, and then you get a hint. Something feels interesting to you, it's expressive, or it's complicated in a way that makes you go further into it. You get into a place where there are no rules. You have hunches, you get feelings, and it's related to a material. I can remember during that period when I went back to the horn, Berkeley jazz player, you know, where I live, Steve Tully, gave me a few lessons, and we got into the habit of talking about the notes. Say we'd have a Sonny Rollins chorus to Aerogen or something. Somebody had transcribed exactly the notes he's playing. And we would talk about which notes were right inside the triad chord, right inside the scale of the key of the moment, and which notes were kind of far out. He was playing, you know, a flat 13 or a sharp 9 or a flat 9, and have these discussions about that. And one time there's this one note, and Steve talked about it, and I asked a few questions about it, and he said, sometimes a note it's just a note, just feels right. And I think that's a big part of the process of making art, is that you you learn principles and structures and rules, and you think consciously in order to get to the point where you don't have to think. I'm sure there are analogies in sports. It's like the actor memorizes the lines so well. When she's saying the lines, she doesn't have to think about them. Just think about the emotion. And that's where you're trying to get.